Liebe Podcast- und YouTube-Community, herzlich willkommen zu diesem speziellen, besonderen Interview mit einem ganz besonderen Gast. Und dieses Interview wird zum allerersten Mal in meiner Show in Englisch stattfinden. Und wenn du das Ganze jetzt hier im Podcast hörst, dann empfehle ich dir auf jeden Fall, mal auf YouTube vorbeizuschauen, denn dort findest du die Übersetzung in Form des Untertitels in meinem Video. Mehr dazu jetzt direkt nach dem Intro. Hast du da Bock drauf? Klar hast du da Bock drauf. Wir sehen uns gleich. My special guest today became famous with a video that he posted in the internet years ago and recommended at the time by Bitcoins. So today my interview guest is one of the absolute legends in the crypto and Bitcoin space. And he has more than 270,000 followers on Instagram, more than 380,000 on YouTube, and more than 514,000 on Twitter. So, welcome to my show, Mr. DaVinci.
Thanks, glad to be here. You also forgot TikTok, because I have a large following on TikTok as well. Yes, also, yeah, you can find me. I do have a German channel, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's if you look for DaVinci J15 DE, that's where you'll find the Deutsch channel.
Oh, okay. Yes, very nice. So TikTok also, how many followers you have there?
I have about over 200,000 followers on TikTok as well.
Okay, and it works pretty well, actually, right?
Yes, it does. Yes, there's a lot of kids watching my content, and yeah, they always whenever a kid comes up to me, I have seen you on TikTok, right? So yeah, that's it's kind of funny.
Very nice. I've seen a photo from you where you're wearing a shirt. And on the shirt says, I told you so. Yes. So let's go back to then when you recorded this video and your Bitcoin recommendation. What was the price of the Bitcoin during that time? And what made you so sure that this investment could really change the life of other people?
Okay, well, there's two videos, right? Mm-hmm. One is my first video that I ever did about Bitcoin. And the other one is the most famous one where I told people, here, just buy $1 worth of Bitcoin. Now, in that one that most people have seen, the price of Bitcoin was approximately around $100. And that's only a response because all of the people who were watching my previous videos, all from March of 2011 to that point, were hating Bitcoin so much so that they were telling me that they wouldn't even put $1 into Bitcoin. They wouldn't even put in a lottery ticket's worth into Bitcoin. And it was upsetting because I knew that it was going to be the money. I knew that this was going to work when I first heard about it in March of 2011. In fact, I was so confident that I even said in one video, and it's so funny. I said, I don't want to say in the future, I told you so.
Okay. Okay, I got it. All right.
So, yes, it was funny. But I was so passionate about it back in March 2011. I even said that if you put in up to $1,000 and it goes to zero, I will pay you back because I have lots of gold and silver as savings and stuff like that. I'll pay you up to $1,000 if you invest up to $1,000 or more into Bitcoin. So I knew that it was not going to zero because I knew it was going to be the money. And now it's not there yet, but it will be in the future. And you can see that as more and more people understand what Bitcoin is, how it works, why it works, and why our current financial system doesn't work.
Okay. So 2 thoughts on that. First one, God damn it, I missed that video.
A lot of people did.
Yeah. So, and the second thing is, so how did you know that? I mean, what was your feeling that this will be the future?
It wasn't a feeling. It was knowledge. It was based on the fact that, one, I was a software developer. I've been a software developer all my life since my first computer was a VIC-20 back in the 80s. So I was like, 8 years old when I got my first computers. And I was a programmer since then. Okay. One of the key things in computer technologies is that how do you create a digital asset that no one can copy? That you know that if I give you the digital asset, I didn't give it to the camera guy, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You need to know that, right? So that was considered impossible in computer science. So once I saw that Satoshi had solved this problem, it was a no-brainer for me. Not only that, I studied monetary history and how money works and why this would work as a monetary asset over anything else, and why it would be so successful once people understand it, because it requires understanding. Like when we invented electricity, most people thought it was just a fad, right? Yeah. So it requires understanding, and it's difficult to understand something that's not seen. Okay. Nobody sees electricity. Yeah. Right? Yeah. You only see the results. Yes. Right. And so that's what's going to take time for people to understand. And you don't have a marketing team behind Bitcoin. So that's going to take a lot of time for people to understand. Whilst with electricity, of course, there's companies that were behind it that was pushing a product, pushing this to the markets, and getting people involved. Whilst the opposite is true with Bitcoin, of course, because now you can't have companies. Whilst there are exchange companies out there, they're all for getting you to buy, getting on their platform to buy all the different assets that they have available. But the problem is there's no Bitcoin company. There's no lobbying group, right? Nothing like that. Yeah. And so it will take more time for people to understand what Bitcoin is, because it's up to us, the individuals, to sell, to push, to let you understand, help people understand what it is. Why is Bitcoin so important? Why will it be the money? That's what's required, people's understanding. That's it.
Yeah, and even today, most people don't understand.
No, they don't.
If I looked into Germany, less than 7% of the population own cryptocurrencies, compared to the fact that Bitcoin has been the most successful asset of the last 10 years. Why do you think people have problems to see that big chance of this digital money?
Oh, the same reason why when people came up with paper money. It's new technology. They don't believe that it's going to work because they're so used to the old ways of working. It's the old ways is working for them as far as they're concerned. Why do they need to study a new way? Yeah. It's just more work, right? Yeah. So that's the long and the short of it. It's only when you realize you need to do it that you actually go ahead and do so. Same with the internet, right? Most people just ignored it until they felt that they needed to get onto the internet. And that's how it's going to work, right? People are going to eventually realize the need for Bitcoin because, have you seen what inflation's doing to your wealth? It's taking a lot of it really fast. Yeah. I don't know if you guys, you're part of the ECB. You invented the ECB. So the Christine Lagarde said, people should be happy that they have jobs because we're going to take your savings. She actually said that. Yes. So the money's really bad that you're using. Now, would you like to have a monetary system where they can't take your wealth away from you? That's what Bitcoin is. Yeah, exactly. So currently the Bitcoin price is at $26,873 at the time of this recording. How do you view this price compared to the actual value of Bitcoin? Well, it's severely undervalued because Bitcoin is booting up. It requires, of course, people's understanding. And once they do, then the price is going to be a lot higher than it is today. That's just the way, that's the way time and technology comes, right? People have to understand what it is, buy it, and then maybe they might overvalue it, and then it comes back down. That's what we see these cycles, right? Yep. People start to buy it up like crazy because they understand what it is. And then they go, oh my God. And then they buy it at higher prices. And then the price, but not a lot of people are interested just yet. A few percentage more and a few percentage more every 4-year cycle of the Bitcoin boom and bust cycles. Bitcoin has these boom and bust cycles on a constant basis because of the halving cycle, which we can go into in another question.
Yes. Okay. So there are now over 10,000 cryptocurrencies. And for the most, it's difficult to build a portfolio that is truly sustainable and effective due to the high number, right? So for my community, what are the top 5 cryptocurrencies everyone should have in their own portfolio?
Bitcoin. No, just kidding. Yes, obviously Bitcoin should be the major one in your portfolio. Reason why is if you watch my show, you can see that the technical analysis on the Bitcoin dominance is showing that Bitcoin is going to continue to outperform all different cryptocurrencies out there. I think Ethereum will probably hold the stage with Bitcoin, and will continue to rise alongside of Bitcoin. But all the rest of them, it's difficult to say. If you want to get into other ones that are a gamble, yes, you can do that, but you're going to have to do some research. I would also recommend Binance Smart Chain, but with the current investigation, they're not guilty of anything, of course. But you know what? The way the United States works is you're guilty and you have to prove you're innocent, right? Yes. So don't get it twisted. But anyways, and so they just need to get out of that. I don't recommend XRP. Now, I know I shouldn't mention something I don't recommend, but
okay.
If you believe in central banking, buy XRP.
Yes.
Yes. So then you can go to Cardano, but these are high risk plays, and also Matic as well.
Okay. So like you just said before, currently almost all central banks are working on their own digital currency now. It is only a matter of time before the central bank digital currencies will be made available to the public, right? So how do you view this development for the crypto market as in the whole?
Well, central banks they want to produce their own CBDC, central bank digital currency. And that's just because, the cryptocurrencies have been a great success because it allows people to move money without friction. Without having the government or the bank say, hey, what you doing over there? Why are you moving that much money? What's going on? If you ever tried to move $1 million, you'll know what we're talking about. If you haven't done that, you won't know. Right? So, or if you purchase like a flight on a private jet, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. That payment will get delayed if you're trying to fly the same day. And so, with cryptocurrencies, it's instant. Now, so with the CBDCs, are they going to be better? No. So it's just another system of control. Yeah,
exactly. So, which brings me to the next questions. How do you assess the risk that the introduction of the CBDCs will lead to governments taking complete control of citizens' money? And there are even rumors that the currencies will be given an expiration date for citizens to actually spend their money.
Yes, because they need a high velocity of money in order for this particular type of financial system to continue function. If the velocity drops, right, the whole system collapses because it's a debt-based system. Meaning there's more debt than there is money in the system. All money that gets created out of debt, but as we create more and more debt, we don't create the principal, so we need more money to cover the interest and the principal. So there's always going to be an exponential growth of debt in the system in order to keep the money in the system. So if nobody spends, then there's no people can't pay their debts, which causes a cascading effect of prices dropping, which would destroy the whole financial system.
Yeah.
And it's complicated to explain why it destroys the system, but that's just understand that would happen. And so what they want to do with CBDCs is allow them to go negative on interest rates, deeply negative on interest rates.
Okay.
And so the only way to do that is if your money is evaporating if you don't move it. And so that's how they can pull out negative interest rates.
Okay. Do you think that fiat money will be completely gone at some time?
Yes, it will be, because it is a fraud. It is a fraud. Let me repeat that. It is a fraud. Okay. Well, why is it a fraud? Well, do you like people stealing from you? Oh, no, you don't. Okay. Right. That's what our system does. It steals from you. It steals your wealth, not only from your savings, but also from your job. When you work at whatever job you work at, and you get this measly 3% raise, maybe, that might give you just 2%. That's nothing compared to the real inflation, which is running at over 10%. Currently, during the COVID times, it was up at 25% in the increasing of the money supply. That means you were losing a quarter of your wealth every single year during the COVID times. And so this is theft. This is a crime. This is also considered fraud because you don't know this is happening to you.
And most people don't understand the financial system of the banks. Mm-hmm. That's one of the most problems we have.
So if somebody says, "Hey, you know what? This is real wealth. It's going to be valuable. And you could use it to save and buy stuff." And yet that they're going to steal the money from you. That's fraud. Yeah. Whilst you're holding it, that's fraud. Yeah. And so that's why I say the financial system's a fraud.
Yeah. All right. So right now, the rumors are building up that the US government will work with Ripple and XRP in the future to bring the digital US dollar on the market. What is your thought on that?
Didn't I just say don't buy XRP a few minutes ago? Yeah. I could have swore.
Yes.
So man, I say more. If you want the government to have control over what you buy, what you do with your money, because money is 50% of everything that's in the economy. It is just an aggregate. And what is an aggregate? It's just thing, right? It's just anything that you can buy, that you trade, the assets that we have, the camera, right? The mic, right? The watch, this ring, right? Money is just another item, right? In our economy. If you just look at it flat, as just things that we just flat put out all on the table. Yeah. And so you can invent your own money, but they want to have but you use money to buy all the other stuff. Yeah. And so if you can control that side of the equation, you have control over everyone and then what they can do and where they can buy and what they can buy at all times. And if you can control people, well, you have slaves.
Exactly. Yes. Good explanation. Let's have a look at the US market at this moment. Speaking of the United States, the SEC has just sued Binance and Coinbase. In addition, almost all cryptocurrencies are to be classified as securities in the future. So should this happen, what impact would this have on the crypto market?
The same impact that drugs has, right? Because drugs went down in price when, the United States made it legal. Alcohol also went down in price when, U.S. put it into their constitution that you couldn't buy alcohol.
Okay.
No, that's right. It didn't go down in price. It didn't go down in price. They went up. They skyrocketed. Yeah. Yes, because people realized they wanted to get that. And all it's going to do is just prove that, people should be owning these assets by them actually banning it and trying to regulate it out of existence. They know they have no choice, that this is coming. But when you have the ability to print money and enslave everybody, you might want to fight to preserve that. I don't know. So they're gonna, even though the fight is actually useless, they're still gonna do it.
Yeah. Let's go back to the point, slaving money system. Is there any solutions for the people in case that we have no fiat money anymore on the market? It's forbidden, for instance. We just have CBDCs. So what is the future of the finance for the people then?
If they make it forbidden for you to own crypto, is that the question, right?
Well, no, the question is like, if there is no fiat money anymore, and we only
paper
have
money.
Paper money, yes.
Yeah.
If there's no paper money anymore, and we only have CBDCs, and the government, the banks have the complete control over your money, is there any solution to get out that? To get out there?
Yes, it's because, in Venezuela, you're not allowed to use dollars there. You're supposed to use bolivars, but nobody uses dollars there. Oh, wait, that's right. Everyone does. So, good luck with that. Good luck with that banning, because it's not going to work.
Okay.
People will still transact in the asset that makes the most sense.
Okay.
And it will be cryptocurrencies.
All right. So, to another topic, the press recently reported that the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock, is launching a crypto ETF, right? With the argument, more security for the investors. What do you think about that?
Well, BlackRock has silver ETF, and most people don't read the prospectus. And the ones that do, right, they understand that the silver is not actually there.
Okay.
Right. So do you think the Bitcoin is going to actually be there? No. So you'll be able to buy some fake Bitcoin and be exposed to the price. That's it.
Yeah.
You'll get price exposure. You won't get actual Bitcoin backing up that ETF at all. They will do the same thing they do with silver and gold.
Yeah.
And, they will come up with all kinds of shenanigans. Have you heard of what gold and silver leasing? Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay. So for those who don't know, a lease is basically where you lease a car, right? Yeah. And when you lease the car, you get the ownership on the card, and you see that your name's not on the ownership.
Yeah.
Who's on the ownership?
On the dealer.
The dealer.
Yeah.
So the dealer actually has the car as an asset on their balance sheet.
Yeah.
Well, the same can be applied with gold and silver. You could give somebody else the gold, the silver, or even Bitcoin, and lease it out to them. They pay you a small fee, right? Monthly fee, and they have the Bitcoin, they have the gold. But really, written legally, it's on your balance sheet, and you actually own it.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
So, gotcha.
Okay. So let's come to the final main questions I have here. How do you see the future of money? How will our money and banking system change in the next 10 years? And how can we all best benefit from the coming development?
Well, the best way to everyone to benefit is to invest small amounts of money into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some other cryptos, of course, if you like. Just to, you might have to do a little bit of work and research on that. Because if you invest in this asset and this asset class, you are voting against the negative asset class of our current system of both stocks, bonds, and our fiat floating money system.
Okay.
This will change the world in a positive way and enrich you beyond your wildest dreams if you can just hold on, hodl, diamond hands, Bitcoin and Ethereum.
All right. So by the end of this interview, I have a final few quick and dirty questions. Means I ask you a question and you just answer spontaneously and short, right?
Fine.
So 7 questions starting with number 1. It's not too late to buy Bitcoins now because
only 2% of the total population own Bitcoin. So wait until that gets to 14.
Okay. Cryptocurrencies are better than fiat currencies because
it's fair and honest. You know what the rules are.
Okay. Insider tip. This cryptocurrency has extreme growth potential right now.
Bitcoin
All right. What percentage of our income should be invested in cryptocurrencies?
I'm at the almost 100%, but because I'm absolutely sure, but you might do anywhere from 10% to 20%.
All right. Okay. So cryptos or stocks, which is the better choice and why?
Cryptos, because stocks are basically part of the fraud in our financial system.
Okay. Which book should everyone read about cryptocurrencies?
The Bitcoin Standard.
All right. Last question. In the year 2030, the Bitcoin price stands at a rate of?
In the year 2030, Bitcoin stands at the rate of, I'd say, close to $1 million.
Oh, really? I heard that so many times.
It doesn't matter. You know what? Whether it's $1 million in 2030 or 2035, there will be a time when you don't measure Bitcoin in dollars. You just, because how much is a Reich mark in dollars? Oh, that's right. The Reich mark is gone.
Okay.
That's going to happen.
Okay. Very nice. So, Mr. DaVinci, thank you very much for your time and thank you for this closer look into the crypto space. It was great having you here and I hope we stay in contact and maybe see you next time again in my show.
Thank you very much. Right. And yeah, buy Bitcoin, right? I make this for my middle finger because it's, it gives a finger to the banks and I tell them to read between the lines.
Okay. Right. Thank you.